of my another friend here in Kistendil. A sad but very sweet dog that looks scared of humans because it's been neglected or hurt, probably hit by a car at some point. And I'm always very sorry to see poor dogs in the street that are obviously afraid of people but probably rely on them for survival. And it's just a cute dog. It kind of hurts me because I can't really do anything right now. I can't go pet it. I'm a bit afraid of dogs at sometimes. I don't really pet dogs in the streets because I've been bitten a few times as a kid. So I'm afraid of dogs, but street dogs I'm always a bit wary. But it's just so kind of sad. Perhaps I'm just waiting it up, holding it up, that it hopes I have some food, but these dogs, like its paw has been hurt, it cannot stand on it. I'm just very sorry to see it. And then I just continue because you cannot help every dog in the street. When I came to Bulgaria in 2014, there were a lot of dogs. That's become less and less because there are some good initiatives where dogs are taken to shelters or find new owners within the country or elsewhere. And at that point, 2014, it was still a little bit underdeveloped, the dog shelter initiatives. So I had dogs living in front of my building, and one looked hurt, so I just tried to lift it up and take it to the vet. But I couldn't because it would start biting and crawling. So I got the vet to my place, and suddenly the dog walked again, and I felt really silly. And I thought, well, these dogs managed to survive without me. Like, if I wasn't here, the dog would still live, you know? So now I sort of let them be. I used to have pretty lonely Christmas the first year in Bulgaria because I didn't have any friends. And I'm kind of an introvert, so I didn't really go out. And then I just bought hot meat from the store, like warm sausages from the food department in the store, and I would go around the area, my neighborhood, to feed the dogs hot sausages, and they liked that. But if I came any closer or tried to pet them, they would start growling as well. So they are very self-reliant, and that's what local people know as well. So they feed the dogs and then sort of let them be. And that kind of works. So it is a sort of system that works. The dogs survive. It might sound a bit cruel, but they don't necessarily need you to go be very sad about them, you know? And if you actually try to feed and pet them, they might even bite. So they are not naive and cute only, although they might look so. So yeah, the stray dogs is definitely a thing, although it's less and less. If you came 10-15 years ago, you would have been pretty much overwhelmed by sadness for the dogs. These are just taken to shelters. And yeah, it's become an ever smaller issue, fortunately. But sometimes you see a sad doggy, and it's just like, oh, I wish I could take you. I've met plenty of dogs on my journeys. Basically, still and every time you go, you meet them. And they're always friendly, that's not the point. Why am I walking here? Because I like this area of town, of Kustendil. I've shown it in another YouTube video. And I like it in particular because it is untouched. We see the mosque over there in the back, which I'm not really covering now because A, it's abandoned, and B, it's a bit dark, so I'm not going there. Yeah, it's close as well, like in severe decay. But this part of the center, the buildings, the lamps, everything, it hasn't really been touched. So I like seeing the old atmosphere. Although I think since my last video, I'm not sure, when was I here, in May? I need to look back at that video, because it looks like the pavement has been redone, refurbished. And before that, yeah, I think they've redone it or something. Before that, you used to have these yellow bricks that came straight from the socialist era still, and it looked absolutely fascinating, like a true untouched street, you know? But this is still pretty much the same. We have Detska Moda, which is children's fashion. Zavashty Detsa for children. Very old door, the curtain's still in place. Nothing has changed here. Not even the fashion. The provincial towns are still very much old-fashioned in a sense, and that's not to say that's bad. It's exactly why I love them. We have Tenniski, which is t-shirts, and Belio, which is, let's say, underwear, lingerie. Still, the doors, all in place as it once was. Single glass, single pane glass. If you want to go back in time, you go to the provincial towns. And again, that's not to say that it doesn't keep up with speed, because we do have phone stores, we do have banks, public Wi-Fi. But it's just the little tidbits, let's say, that are still left untouched. And that's what gives the contrast and the character. That probably used to be a hotel once. Or it's the municipality, I'm not quite sure. At least nowadays. In either case, that was it for a night. I'm going back to my hotel. It's getting kinda cold.